I love the Christmas season because there's just so much joy. There's so much cheer and happiness that comes around it. Now, I know there's not always joy and happiness all around the Christmas season, but most of the times I just feel this great sense of joy and happiness. Hey, when was the last time you felt joy and happiness? When was that time? I want you to think about that for a second, and I also want you to read this story about the events leading up to the birth of Jesus. And it involves three people: an angel, Mary, and Elizabeth. And there was great joy. And I want you to look at that story and I want you to see how Mary had great joy because of the news that was shared with her and how we can have joy then because of that. All right? So pause the video right now, read this short story, answer these few questions, and when you're done, press play and we'll look at how we can all have joy today. Okay, it must have been really scary for Mary to have been visited by an angel. But after she had been told about this and she said, "This is God's will, and because it's God's will and I am God's servant, I'm going to do this." She had great joy. There was so much joy in her life because she knew that she was going to have the baby Jesus and she was going to give birth to that baby and God was going to come and share his love with everybody. There was great joy. And because Mary had great joy, guess what? We can have great joy today. And that's what our bottom line is today. You can have joy because God is with you. God was with Mary, and Mary had the baby. And God is with us. Because of Jesus in our lives, we can have great joy. So no matter what you're going through, whether you're having a great Christmas season or not so great Christmas season, take a step back and think about God and think about the joy that he gave us through Jesus and how we can have joy through him. He loved you so much. He not just came into the world, but he died for our sins. Remember Easter, with Good Friday, Jesus sacrificed his life for us, and then he came back to rise again from the tomb 3 days later. God loved us so much that he sent Jesus into the world so that we can have that life and we can have joy today because God is with us. So don't ever forget that. And again, no matter what you're going through, just know that God is with you and you can have joy because of it. Hey, and as you've had joy in your life, whether it's now during the Christmas season or outside of the Christmas season, I would love to hear your thoughts on how you've experienced God's joy. So put it in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. All right, so as we wrap up, I want to go over the memory verse we've been looking at for the last few weeks. Philippians 4:4. Always be joyful because you belong to the Lord. I will say it again, be joyful. Today, be joyful because God is with you. All right, everyone. Well, that wraps up our story today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week with a whole new story on joy. Have a great week, everyone.